started.
Okay, so friends, I am Heena Vani, and today for Olympiad Maths Grade 7, we are going to study our today's topic, which is based on percentage. Okay, so what is mean by percentage? So see, you got if you are in some standard, okay, say, and then you got the marks in each subject out of 100. Okay, out of 100 you got something particular marks or something marks in each subject. Now the marks got in each subject, if total has been done, and out of that total marks you got, and total marks there for exam, if we multiply this whole thing with 100, then it gives us the percentage you got in the year. Okay, so this is the way to calculate percentage. Means something you got from a specific number, but you have to compare that with the 100. Means if these all marks you got in terms of 100 marks, then how much marks you obtain, that is known as percentage. Okay, so we have to learn the application based problem on percentage. See, percentage is the fraction whose denominator is always 100. Okay, and numerator of the fraction uh, are called as rate percent. Okay, denominator is always 100. Now see, a is a numerator for percentage, means for every 100, so means a percent means a upon 100. Okay, now see, key you got 9 marks in EVS subject out of 20 marks. So how many percentage you got? So you have to multiply this 9 upon 20 with 100 to get the percentage. So 21 are 20, 25 are 100, 9 5 are 45. So you got 45%. Okay, so out of 20 if 9, so out of 100 how many? That is the thing we have to calculate. So if we have to convert any fraction into percentage, we just multiply it with the 100. Okay, understood? Now some problems are given on the basis of this. The population of village is 4500 and 11 upon 18th of them are male, rest are female. If 40% of the females are married, then number of unmarried females you have to calculate. Now you know the number, total number. Now out of total number, first we calculate the number of males using this fraction, that 11 upon 18 are men. So 2750 is the number of male in the village. Now from number of male, calculate the number of females in the village by subtracting it from the 4500, the total number of people or population. And now we know how many are the married, 40%. So out of these female, 40% are married. So 40 upon 100 multiplied by 1750 gives you the answer 700. Okay, now 700 females are married, so 1750 minus 700 gives you the number of unmarried females in the village. Understood? So this is the way we solve the problem that are based on percentage. Okay, now while solving the application based problem, if it is the formula for some problems which are based on this format, if the price of any article, if we increase it by X%, then reduction in consumption, so that expenditure remains unaffected. Means what? Now see, if petrol price is something and if it is increased by X%, now price is increased, so when previously I have 200 rupees, I can fill the 1.5 liters of petrol. If now price is increased, so I don't want to increase the expenditure, which is 200. I want to keep it constant. So what I have to do is I have to reduce the consumption of petrol. So I will reduce the consumption of petrol to 0.3 liter, so that I can easily adjust into the 200 rupees of the expenditure. So the formula is x is the percentage increase in the price upon 100 plus x multiplied by 100%. Okay, this value we got in the form of percentage. Now the same way, if some price is decreased by some percent, then we have to increase the consumption, because see, price is now reduced. Now see, previously if 80 rupees is the price, and I have 240 rupees, so I can take the 3 articles of it. Now the price is reduced to 60. Now in 240 rupees I can buy 4 articles. So my consumption is increased, number of articles are increased, but my expenditure remains the same. So the formula to calculate the increase in consumption is x upon 100 minus x into 100%. Okay, so these are the two formulas which are useful while we solve the practice exercise. Now see, here the same problem is given based on those formula. Ki new budget, the price of petrol is increased by 25%. By how much percent the person should reduce the consumption, so that expenditure not affected. So he has to spend certain amount only for the petrol filling, though the price is increased. So we directly use that formula, that x upon 100 plus x into 100. Now here our x is 25%, which is the hike in petrol price. So put the values in the formula, you got 20% consumption you have to reduce. But here the problem is thoda sa rounded kind of, or ghumao kind of. Now see, what is the problem? Due to reduction of 6 has to 1 by 4% of the sugar price, the man is able to buy 1 more kg sugar for 120 rupees. Now reduced rate of sugar is asked. Now see, we had seen the formula for articles price is increased and consumption is reduced. Now article price is reduced, so we have to increase the consumption. So the consumption is increased and we can buy 1 more kg of sugar out of 120 rupees, means our expenditure is constant, which is 120 rupees. So here our expenditure is 120 rupees. Now the price we don't know, but price is reduced to 6 upon 1 by 4%. So what happens, we can buy 1 more kg of the sugar. Okay, now we have to assume the price as x. Okay, now sugar price we assume as x. Now how much is reduced? So 6 as to 1 by 4 means 25 by 4% is reduced. Okay, now it is reduced on which amount? So it is reduced on x rupees. Now we have to calculate, first convert this percentage into rupees and then we have to multiply it with x. So what we do, 100 minus 25 upon 4 into 1 upon 100 multiplied by x. Okay, so we got the reduced rate, which is 15x upon 16. Okay. Now how I had done this? I had used the formula. Okay. Now see. So 15 upon x into 16 is the reduced rate. Okay. Now rate is reduced. Previously the rate was something which is x we had assumed. Now the reduced rate is 15x upon 16. So if I have 120 rupees and if suppose sugar is previously of 9 rupees, now it is 7 rupees. So we had learned in the fraction. Okay. If numerator is common, the fraction whose denominator is smaller is the greater fraction. Okay. So I can buy 1 kg extra sugar only if I subtract from the reduced rate to previous rate. How? Why? I will tell you. Now see, previously if it is of 9 rupees and then it is of 7 rupees. So if I divide this 120 with 7, I will take some even number, 120 with 6, then I got the bigger number which can, when subtracted from the previous rate, I will get 1 kg extra sugar in that price. Okay. So 120 upon 15x upon 16 minus 120 upon x, because x is the price of sugar. I have 120 rupees, so out of 120 rupees, by the amount x I can buy that much amount of sugar in kg, and here I got something amount of sugar in kg, and the difference in both is 1 kg ka difference is there. So solve this equation and you got the value of x, which is 8. So 8 is the previous sugar price, and now reduced rate is 15 upon 16x. So put the value for x and you got the reduced rate, that is 7.5 per kg. So when it becomes 7.5 per kg, I can buy 1 more kg of the sugar. Okay. Okay. Why I done this? Because I have to convert this percentage into the rupees. That's why instead of multiplying it with 100, I multiply it with 1 upon 100. Okay. And I have to calculate the price for this reduced rate. I have to calculate. Okay. So I had done this. Now the next problem is based on locality, that if the suppose the present population of locality is P and let it increase by X% per annum, then how we calculate the increased population? So see, population after n years is equal to P multiplied by 1 plus X upon 100. Okay. Now how this P plus 1 upon 1 plus X upon 100 becomes? Now see, population is P, it is increased by X%, means X% on what? P. So it is X upon 100 into P, and we have to add the previous and increased population. So X upon 100 P plus P gives us the equation as P into the bracket 1 plus X upon 100, and the years, this is 1 year ka hike. Now how many year ka hike is asked? That number 2 years, 4 years, after 4 years, after 2 years is written as n. So this is the formula. Now if before years population is asked, then all these things goes to denominator. Okay, because we subtract these things, that's why it goes to the denominator. Okay, so this is all the things we had to done before we move to solve the sum. Now some examples from solved examples we will take, and then we'll move to practice exercise. Now see, 1/2 is what percent of 1 by 3? Now see, this is very tricky one thing. 1/2 is what percent of 1 by 3? Now see here, 1/2 is the answer of what? 1 by 3 percent. Okay. Now I say ki 1/2 is x percent of 1 by 3. Okay. So what it means ki x percent of 1 by 3 means, now see, 1/2 is the answer, as I told you. 1/2 is the answer of 1 by 3 is how much percent? Now I say 5%, then 5% can be written as 5 upon 100. So x percent means x upon 100. Okay. Now solve. Ki x upon 300 it becomes. Here 1/2 is there. So x is equal to, this 300 goes to left hand side and it comes to numerator. So x is equal to 150%. Okay, because x percent we have to calculate. So 1/2 is 150% of 1 by 3, and in this way you have to calculate all the things. What percent of 7 is 84? Now see, what percent of 7 is 84? Here 7 is answer. If we say ki x percent of 7 is 84, so you have to write it like this. Now this x is equal to 84 multiplied by 100 upon 7. 7 12 are 84. So 1200% of 84 is 7. No, 7 is 1200% of 84. Okay. Twelve 1200% of 7 is 84. Okay. So like this way you have to calculate and solve. So the correct answer given there. Okay, you can see D is the correct answer. Now Stephen mathematics test had 85 problems, which contained 20 problems of algebra, 30 problem of statistics, 35 problem of geometry. He answered 70% algebra, 40% statistics, 60% geometry correctly. Now he did not pass the test because he solved less than 60% of the problem. How many questions he would need to answer correctly so that he earns 60%? Now see, how many percent problem of algebra he had solved? 70%. And how many problems are there? 20. Okay. So 70 upon 100 into 20 gives us the number of problems solved out of these 20 problems. 40% of statistic means 40 upon 100 multiplied by 30 gives us the number of problems solved of statistics, and 35%, 40%, 60% of geometry gives us the value for 60 upon 100 into 35, the number of problems solved out of 35. So he solved 14 problems of maths, 12 problem of statistics, and 21 problem of geometry. Together 47 problem. Now total 85 problem are there and 60% passing is there. So 60% of 85 is 51. How we calculate? 60 upon 100 into 85. Like we calculate the x percent of 7 and all. Okay. Now 51 problems he must have to solve, and he had solved 47 correctly. So 4 additional problem if he able to solve, he maybe get passed the exam. Now see, the tax on electronic good is 15% and is increased by 10%. What is the percent of total tax on electronic good? Now this question is something tricky question. Here tax on electronic good is 15%. So see, suppose 100 rupees is the cost of electronic good and 15% is the tax. So the total price is 115 rupees. Okay. Now it is increased by 10%. So 115 ka 10% is 11.5. Now the total increase is how much? 15 plus this 10 means this 15 plus 11.5 is 26.5% increase in the tax. Okay. Now fourth question, stamp duty of an article is reduced by 40% and of its present amount. Then how much present percent the consumption is increased in the order so that the revenue remain unaltered, means the cost remain unaltered, the expenditure remain unaltered. So you have to use the formula. Which one? The reduction wala, x upon 100 minus x into 100. Here your x is 40, put the values and calculate, you will get the answer, and already given to you, which is B. Now, what is the total number of candidates appear in an exam if 32% fail and the number of pass candidates are 270 more than the fail candidate? Okay. Now see, total number of candidates appear in the exam is as 32% fail and number of pass candidates are 270 more than the number of fail candidates. Now see, how you will put this equation into the question. So see, if suppose total number of candidates are x, okay, now how many percent fail? 32% fail, means 32 upon 100 into x get fail. Okay, okay, understood. Now if I add 270 in it, it will give us the number of past candidate. Okay, this is the number of past candidate. Now if 32% are fail, how many pass? 100 minus 32 means 68% of candidate are pass. So it is equal to 68 upon 100 into x, which is total number of candidates. Now if you solve this whole equation, you will get the value of total number of candidate, which is 750. Okay, understood? If you solve this equation, then you will easily get the value as 750. I'm not going to solve it because it is already solved. Now we'll move to practice exercise. Okay, some problem of practice exercise we will solve today, and the rest problem we'll decide or we'll solve tomorrow. Okay, we'll decide if time is there, we will solve today only, or otherwise we'll solve tomorrow. Now see, a man loses 12 upon 1/2% of his money. Now he has 70% of the remainder, which is 210. Find the money he had. Now see, the same problem which we had seen in the last question we have to do. Now see, if suppose he had X amount, okay, how much he loses? 12 as to 1/2 means 12 to the 24 plus 2, 25 upon 2x is lost by him. Now he has 70% of the remainder, which is 210. Okay, now what is the remainder left to him is now see, first what we do, this is in the form of percentage. Okay, 25 upon 2%. So we have to convert this into the rupees. Why? Because 210 is given in the form of rupees. So 25 upon 2 into x percent means how many rupees? So 25 upon 2 into x multiplied by 1 upon 100. Because when we convert the percentage into the fraction or into the normal form, we multiply it by 1 upon 100. So 25 ones are 25 and 25 fours are 100. So x upon 8 is the money lost by him. Okay, x upon 8. Now previously how much he had? X money he had and he lost x upon 8. So x minus x upon 8 gives us the remainder. Okay, now remainder is 8x minus x, that is 7x upon 8. This is the remainder. Okay, now 70% of the remainder is 210, means 70 upon 100 into 7x upon 8 is equal to 210. Okay, now we move to squid to solve it further. Now see what we had done. I will just tell you. First we assume the money he had previously as x. Now he lost how much? 25 by 2% of the money, means 25 upon 2 multiplied by 1 upon 100 into x, which gives us the value as x upon 8. Okay, 25 ones are 25 and 25 fours are 100. So loss is x upon 8. Now remainder is what? The money he had previously, which is x, minus this x upon 8 is the remainder, which is 7x upon 8. 8x and minus x, we make the denominator common here. So the answer of remainder is 7x upon 8. Now 70% of remainder is equal to 210. Okay. Now 70% of remainder means 70 upon 100. 70 upon 100 into 7x upon 8 is equal to 210. Now solve this. 7x is equal to 210 into 80 divided by 7. Now x is equal to 7 1 the 7 and 30 it becomes. So 2400 divided by 7. So the answer is 342 something. Okay. 7 3s are 21, 3 will be the remainder, 7 4s are 28, 2 will be the remainder, then 7 2s are 14. So 342 something is your answer, which is 342.85 rupees. Okay. Understood? Understood how we had done? Okay. Now the next question. The man wages is increased by 10%, afterward decreased by 10%, then the total change in wage percentage is asked. Now the same thing which there in the solved problem. Now suppose see wages is 100. If it is increased by 10%, it becomes 110. Okay. Now it is decreased by 10%. So 10% of 110 is 1 point 10% of 110. 110 1.1. Okay. 1 second. If previously 100 is the weight, 110 it becomes after increase in the 10%. Okay. Now this 10% is decreased, so 11 is the 10% of 110. How we calculate it? So 10 upon 100 into 110 gives us the value as 11. So 11 is the decrease in the weight, we say. So previously it was 110, now it is reduced to reduced by 11, so it becomes 99. Now what was the previous weight? We say 100, now it is 99, so the difference is of 1%. Okay, understood? Again I will explain. Now see, we assume the wage as 100. We assume the wage as 100. Now it is increased by 10%, means 10% of 100 is 10. So increased by 10% means it become 110. Now decreased by 100 means decreased by 11, because 10% of 110 is 11. Now it becomes 99. So previously 100, now 99. So difference is of 1%. If an error of But you can solve this in the form of assuming the variable and all the things. I will explain how we assume the variable and then we solved it. Now see, wage is x. Now if it is increased by 10%, it becomes x plus 10x upon 100. Okay. So it becomes 100x plus 10x upon 100, means 110x upon 100 means 1.1x. Okay. Now this 1.1x is reduced by 10%. Now this 1.1x is reduced by 10%. So 10% of 1.1x means 10 upon 100 into 1.1x gives us the reduction only. Okay. How much is reduced? So the value is 0.11x. Now our wage weight is 1.1x. Now reduced is 0.11x. So total change is, we have to subtract this 0.11 from this 1.1, which gives us the value as 0.99x. Now this from this we have to subtract the previous one to get the value or to get the total change in the percentage. Okay. So total change in the percentage is equal to 0.99x minus x upon x, which is the change in this wage and multiplied by 100 gives us the value as 1%. Okay, so this is the way we solve the problem. Now here we will take a break and the rest of the problem we will solve in the next lecture.